Hey guys, welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So today I was in my garden. That's why my nails look like crud. But I was in my garden and playing in dirt and, getting ready for spring. I know it's a little early for some of you, but it's Florida. So I was just thinking about what I want to plant this year and thought about maybe I'll do a little garden journal, like just a small something, a little mini journal. I found some cardboard as usual. This is just some pre-packaged cardboard that I went ahead and found the center and scored two score marks to make a spine, right? So this is now what I'm going to be using to make this little mini journal that I want to use for my garden. So in the garden, I basically I catalog what seeds I've planted. I catalog the location of the plant. I also write down the time of day or the time of the month that I plant it, as well as the gestation period for it. So usually 59 days or whatever. I'd also document that as well. So I think I'm going to be planting spinach and mustard greens and broccoli and a couple other green leafy vegetables this year, probably some cabbage, and I just wanted to document all of that in my little journal. So let's go ahead and disregard the crud on my nails. Disregard the cruddy nails. Yeah, I do need a manicure, but I am going to go ahead and just proceed with this, and we'll just make a cute little mini something to just take outside with us and jot down whatever it is that we're working on. Okay, I went and pulled some fabrics. I was looking for something that says floral or garden. That's a little busy. There's another one also pretty busy. The pattern just is too repetitive, right? It's cute, but it's repetitive. Here's another one that's pretty busy is what it is. It is pretty, but it's also very repetitive. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with something like this, which has more abstracts, and the pattern does not repeat as often. I also pulled this one that I thought I would like as well, which is just a colorful stripe pattern. So I think I'm going to work with these two. They do complement each other just a little bit. Okay, I also went ahead and pulled out of my paper pack a couple of paper packs here. I have the Stemperia Garden, of course. I'm going to be drawing a lot of inspiration from this to complete the journal. And then I went ahead and found a coordinating paper pack. This is the I believe it's DCWV paper company. This is a Mariposa stack. There's 48 sheets on here that are single-sided, and I'll just flip through it really quickly so you guys can see what they look like. Isn't that pretty? And yeah, this right here kind of coordinates very well with the Stemperia Garden pack. So here, I'll just leave that there so you guys can see. See that? Isn't that pretty? Can you see that? I know the Stemperia is still in the plastic, so it's a little glary, but yeah, this is all I thought was very complimentary to the Stemperia pack. So, and that's that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. And these are they're raised, they're like the glitter is it's raised and very pretty, very pretty. Okay, so I want to pull out some of the pages in this pack here to take a look at them, if I can get it open. There we go. Oh, that sounds terrible. Okay. All right, so let's move this out of the way. So in here, I can just show you guys what the back looks like. This is some of the pages that are in here, but let's just flip through them also. So there's a beautiful calendar. Now I can totally use this. Ugh. Yep. Oh, and it's blank on the other side. What a gem. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Okay, So these are double-sided Stamperia pages, and how adorable are these? Yeah, this totally, ooh, I mean, okay, now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with topsoil. All right, so let's go ahead and just get started. I'm gonna go ahead and move the paper packs out of the way, and we're gonna wrap our cardboard to make a journal. And we've done this before right here on Chronicles of a Crafter. We've totally done this before, but yeah, I'm gonna make a much smaller journal. Let me give you the dimensions of this right here. I believe it's 8 3/4. Yeah, 8 3/4 by, oh, let's say 6.5. Okay, 8 3/4 wide by 6.5 tall, and the center of it is about 4 and let's say 4.5. And I just went to either side of the, oh sorry, 4 1/4, and I just went to either side of the 4 1/4 mark and marked those. Actually, I used the millimeter side because I cheated. The millimeters are much easier to read. So yeah, it's 120 millimeters. I'm sorry, 220 millimeters, and the center mark is 110. So I just went to 105 and 115 and marked it there. Okay. So yeah, I just scored along the pencil marks that I made, and now we have this. So the actual book itself is going to measure not 8 3/4, it's going to measure just over 4 1/4. Okay, yeah, 4 1/4 is what it measures right there on the dot. Okay, so for that, I am going to just wrap it like we normally do. I'm going to find a pretty section of this fabric, and it's all very pretty actually. I think I'm going to go somewhere around here. So this quarter of it, yeah, I'm just going to wrap it with that section right here. So I'm going to flip it over, and let's just get our cardboard centered in this area right here, and make sure we have enough to wrap over. Yep, yeah, we have plenty to wrap over on all four sides. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a cut right here on this fold line. And you guys have seen me do this just recently actually, but I'm sure I've made dozens of journals on this channel. So it's just another one that we'll add to our collection of journals. So there's a fold line here, but it's too, what do you say? It's it gives it too much excess fabric, so I'm just going to cut it just slightly shorter than the fold line and hope that I didn't mess that up. Oh, we are winging it today, folks. Okay, let's move the excess fabric out of the way and see what we've done. So here's our pretty pattern. This is somewhat directional because there are butterflies on here and they're facing upwards, right? So I'm just gonna flip it over. Yeah, I did great. I mean, as far as cutting is concerned, this works out fine. So I'm going to add some Scotch Create glue stick onto the fabric center just to get the cardboard to lay flat on it. This is a much smaller book, so we don't have to do it in sections as far as you know, flipping the book over to one side and laying it flat. So I'm just doing it all at once right here. So you guys need to let me know if you all have green thumbs. Do you guys have green thumbs? Let me know in the comments. Are you guys planting gardens this year? It's so much easier and better to know like where your food comes from. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, I'm always thinking about, especially with grocery prices, you don't even need backyards to do gardens. Really, you can just do small potted gardens in your home, on your balcony, or your fire escape, whatever it is that you guys have. You know, you don't have to do large elaborate gardens outdoors. Ouch. But if you have the space, it's always good to at least know where some of your foods are coming from. Every year we do a potato box. Potatoes are so easy to grow. You just basically, you can buy a bag of potatoes really inexpensively at the grocery store, and then just cut them in half, stick them in soil and in a box, and then now you have a potato box, and the potatoes will grow on their own without any help from you. I swear. Every year we do a potato box. We also do what do you call like earthy vegetables, so carrots, cucumbers, squash, things like that, zucchini. And then we also do leafy vegetables, so like spinach, collard greens, cabbage. Those are the ones that we like to eat, and I mean my family, so it works out really well. And I forgot to cut off my excess, so before I fold the other side over, let me just cut away the excess right here and right here. So guys, yeah, I hope y'all are having crafty days in your crafting spaces, because there's nothing else to do because it's so cold out, right? I wonder what the weather is where you are. You can just drop me a comment down below. Let me know what's your weather looking like. Mine is looking like it's a little cold at night, and it's sunny and bright during the day, but it's still chilly outside, you know. So right now we have a cold front coming through Florida, and it was about 46 degrees this morning when I got up. So yeah, it's a little nippy out. So yeah, crafting is probably one of the greatest pastimes other than football. And I do love a good football season, trust me. So yeah, just let me know what you guys are, if you're thinking about gardening this year. What is it that you're going to plant? Because I don't know, maybe we can probably do a seed exchange. Ooh, that would be fun, right? Yeah, we could probably do a seed exchange, and yeah, just basically share with one another what it is that we're doing with our gardens. So there's my excess that I cut away, and here is the front and back cover. Isn't that so cute? So simple, so cute. All right, so there's that. All right, so we know that this is the top because our butterfly is facing upwards on both sides, the front and the back. And yeah, I have like room for one signature, maybe 20 pages or so. All right, so let me go grab some paper and we can start decorating the inside of the book. 2 ticks. All right, so let's talk about paper. All right, so this is the journal cover. I went ahead and glued down my inner fabric, the stripe colorful fabric that I wanted to use on the inside of the book. So here's the back cover and the front cover. Okay, so next let's talk about what we're going to put inside. I'm only doing one signature. Okay, so in that signature is going to go a lot of paper that came from the garden paper pack from Stemperia. I'll show you guys the cover just one more time, only because it has lots of other lots of other pages that you can use in here. So you can either, what I've done is take some of the papers that I wanted to use to my copier and shrunk them down so that they fit into this mini size journal right here. So yeah, this is the back cover of the Stemperia Garden paper pack, and again, I'll just show you what I did. So I'm using some of the paper in its entirety. I just cut it down to fit in the journal. So here's one page that I'm using. Here is another page that I'm using from that book, from that paper pack, and it's double-sided, so you have something to look at on both sides. I just don't want to mess up my pack of paper here. So there's that. Here's what I actually did. So I did some fussy cutting, and I cut these out of one of the sheets on the paper, in the paper pack, right? So they're double-sided, and I just took them to my printer and made copies of them, because I can always use these over and over again. Again, because the journal is so small, I went ahead and shrunk down these same tags, right, to a smaller size so that I can use them in the journal. So here's a smaller size of it, and then here's an even smaller size of the same tags, right? So there's that. I can always cut those out and make them into pockets or tucks or what have you. Then I went ahead and cut out these little guys as well from the paper pack, and I made them into little paper clips. So on the back here there's a little tag, so there's something visually on both sides of the paper clip. And all I really did was cut out the calendar in that paper pack, this guy right here. So I made a copy of it. Oops, sorry, it's upside down. I made a copy of it, and I'm not going to use the numbered side. And then I just cut them down. So in November I had 2 of those, or 3 of those, or 4. I had 4 Novembers. Anyway, so I just cut out the little tag that's on the November little card, and use that on the back side of my paperclip tag. Okay, and again, these are just shrunk down little tags from the Garden Stemperia paper pack. All right, I've said paper pack probably enough for the rest of this video. Oh, please don't make me say paper pack again. All right, so here are some more of those tags that I just basically shrunk them down to fit into the journal. Okay, and these are the actual size. Yeah, these are the actual tags. They're double-sided, and I can always use these as tuck spaces or little mini pockets. Let's move on to paper. Here's another example of what I've done. Okay, I just shrunk this down to fit into the journal, into these 2 little strips right here, and I just copied this on regular copy paper. So okay, let's do our paper sections of the journal. Here's my paper pack. I meant, here is my signature that I'm going to be using in this book. It's a 1 signature mini journal. I went ahead and punched my 3 holes in it for my 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I also went ahead and punched in 3 holes in the journal for the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, just simply by marking where I wanted the holes to go, and I used my large crocodile for that step. Again, to measure off your string that you want to use, either wax cord or wax thread, or any type of jute that you may want to use to stitch together your book, you're just really going to do 3 times the height of the book. So this is how you measure it off. Here's 1, 2, and then 3, with a little extra so you can give yourself a nice little bow. All right, that extra is up to you, however much you want to add on to the end of it. So I just thread my needle, line up my paper, And this is a little piece of rice paper that I made. I think I did a video for it. If I can find it, I'll stick it right up there for you guys in the corner. But this is just some rice paper that that I made. So I'm going to start here in the middle of the book, making sure everything is right side up, including the cover. And you're just going to stitch through, right? Just going to stitch through through the middle. I sometimes go to the top, right? So where is this? I can't even find the hole. Okay, there it is. I go through the top. Sometimes I go through the bottom. It doesn't really matter, as long as you have enough to go all the way down to the bottom or to the last hole that you have available, right? And then you go back through the middle on the back side, so right through about there. And you don't want to thread your thread, right? Like accidentally sticking it with the needle. So you also want to make sure that you have one thread on one side of this bridge, right? Let me get you closer. One thread on one side of the bridge and then one thread on the other side of this bridge, and that's how you're going to tie your pages together. Just want to make sure everything is nice and neat. See, there's the back side of the book. Everything is all tightened. I'm going to pull it tight, but not tearing, right? Pull it taut, and then tie myself a little lock knot right here in the middle. Okay, and a lock knot is one right over left and one left over right. And then if you have excess, like I do right here, you tie yourself a little bow, and you go from there. Okay, so there's our little center of our book. I can remove my clips, and we have one signature just like that. Okay, if you notice, some of my pages are jetting out, and that's because I did no cutting. I did not cut off any of the excess on the edges here. What I am going to do is, if I can find it, I'm going to use my Tim Holtz paper jagged little tool. Basically, it just roughs up the edges of your pages to make them a little bit more vintagey. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing with the ends of these pages. So let me just show you what I have in here as my signature. This is one of the pages from the Stemperia Garden. It's double-sided, so here's the other side of it. I thought that was really pretty. I then used like 3 by 5, I think these are. Let me just see, 5 by 7 maybe, I don't know. I use my large index cards. Yeah, these are 5 by 8. 5 by 8 index cards. So yeah, this way I have some writing space here and some drawing space here. And then I also put in some regular paper. This is just copy weight paper of like loose leaf. And I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago about going to, I think it's like freepaper.net, something like that, where you can just print off lined paper if you don't have any loose leaf. So that's basically all I did in this journal, is just placed a lot of writing space and drawing space. Okay, so yeah, when I'm in my garden, that's what I tend to do. I like looking at the butterflies and the other florals that are out there, and yeah, I do need a little bit of sketching space. Okay, so that's that. And then I have my cute little rice paper here in the middle, and here's another sheet from that Stemperia Garden. Okay, so there's this. Here, again, I did do these two little borders, which I shrunk down. They would look really cute somewhere in the journal, like so, as a border to a page. So I'll be using that. And I also just cut out some of these little guys right here from the paper, from the Stemperia Garden as well. So these will become pockets or tuck spaces somewhere. I also did the calendar. So here is the entire calendar, which I'll be using throughout the book. to take notes on what I've planted, where I've planted it, the gestation period of the planting, you know, etc., etc. So that's all going to go in there as well. And here are my little paper clips that we talked about, and these are so adorable. They'll just like clip right onto any page in your book, and it's kind of like a little bookmark as well. So now you have something that just peeps out of the top right there, and it's like a little bookmark. Okay, so those are all the things that I'm going to be using. This is what I pulled out from which one was this? This was from the Mariposa paper pack, the one that I showed you earlier. It's single-sided, so these will make really good pockets or tuck spaces, right? So yeah, I really like that. That is so cute. And they coordinate, you know, they kind of coordinate with the previous paper from the Stamperia pack. And here's another one that I thought was also super adorbs. So yeah, I can always place that anywhere in the book as a little pocket or a tuck. So with the rest of this page from the garden book, the garden pack, I cut off this little section right here because I didn't need all of it. But instead of throwing this away, I figured I can use this as a little mini notebook. So I just went to my paper sources and pulled out some of this coffee dyed or tea stained pages that I have, you know, the faux pages that I already have pre-packed. And I think, again, I picked that up at the Goodwill for $1.49 or so. To put this together, you can do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which would be absolutely adorable. It would be so cute. Then you have a little bow hanging right there. Or you can take it to your stapler, right? So I have this cute little stapler that rotates. So I'll just show you how it works. You can put a staple in about 6 or 9 different locations based on the rotation of the stapler. So if I really want, I can just turn this in any direction to get close enough to the center of the pack, and then just pop a staple in. Let me turn it around so that the prongs to the staple is on the inside of the pack. And I'll just pop a little staple right here in the middle. Okay, so there we have that. And yeah, and this will just tuck anywhere into the journal once I create those little cute pockets, right? So I can just tuck that in there. There's more writing space in here, more drawing space. And yeah, I can use this also outside, outdoors in the garden. All right, so yeah, let me just put a little pocket here. I'll close this up. I'm gonna put a little pocket like right back here, and I cut this a little large so that I can shave it down if I want. The only problem is I have to bring in my large guillotine for this. So here, I'm just gonna shave down just ever so lightly, maybe a 1/4 of an inch off, to create this pocket right here. And I like that little swirly thing, so I'm going to use my very large 2.5 inch circle punch to put a little thumb notch right here at the top. And I always pinch myself. I don't know if you guys remember, but it never fails. I always pinch myself. All right, so there's that, and I'm going to ink this pocket just so to get rid of all the stark whiteness of the cut lines. All right, I really didn't even use any ink. It's whatever's on my dauber is what I'm using. So there's that, and I'm just going to place this right back here with a little bit of Fabrifix, Fabri-Tac, whatever glue you have available. Just go ahead and use it. All right. You can use art glitter. I think paper to fabric is pretty forgiving, and that's art glitter can probably do paper to fabric, but I know for a fact that Fabri-Tac does paper to paper, paper to fabric, fabric to fabric. So it even glues wood at times. Like if your project is small enough, if you want to glue wood to paper, go for it with this glue. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this little guy. Sorry, I have some excess glue on my fingers. So I'm just gonna put that right there. And maybe I'll place this one in the front here to tuck in my notepad, because as I realized that once I cut down this page, I'm not sure if my notepad will fit in there. And it does. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and my notepad does fit into the back side of the book. But here I'm just gonna go ahead and let's see. Maybe I'll do just a little side something. I'll do a two-sided glue down on this. And that's going to give me like a little tuck spot here in the front of the book. Okay. All right. Okay. And I'll just do something like so. I know you're saying, oh, you covered up the entire material on the front side. Doesn't matter. It's peeking out. You can see it. It's coordinating, and it's just a little something, right? It's just something to reinforce the book as well. So there's that guy. And again, my little notepad can just tuck in on the side, just like so. Isn't that adorbs? Oh my god, I love it. Anyway, let me let this stuff dry before I go tucking things in. The last thing that I wanted to show you guys, these also came out of the Stemperia garden. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was what I've done with this is just, again, another large sheet of stuff that I don't want to lose. I can use it in the large format that it's in. It's double-sided paper by Webster's Pages, right? And it's called Glit Girl and Perfect Fit. I don't know, maybe. It's by Webster's Pages. You can go to websterspages.com. Brandon O'Neill is the artist that did this paper. So yeah, again, it's double-sided. I just shrunk them down again so that they fit into my journal. These are all the little cards that came on that other page that I'll just use as little tuck spaces and little pockets, or just little cards, little vintage cards to go into the project. All right, guys, I think I've done enough, don't you? I think so. I think I've done plenty to this little journal. I'm gonna get to gardening because that's the purpose of the journal. I have a lot of notes that I need to take outdoors, so I'm gonna go do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all are having a crafty day wherever you guys are. Just drop me a note in the comment section. Let me know where you are, what's your weather like, what's the temperatures where you are, and what is it that you're going to be gardening this spring. Okay, let me know down in the comment section. Also, I have the burning question of the year. What else do you guys want to see on this channel? Please let me know down below. I really do appreciate interacting with y'all and all of the subscribers on the channel. Just go ahead and check out my one link down below. Leave me a comment, send me a text, an email, or what have you, and we'll talk again in the next video. All right, guys, stay naturally curious. Bye.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, world seems small, we can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be great outdoors, forever free.